incredibly unpredictable.
You have to evacuate Chicago.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
The world of action and monsters is about to return with a thunderous roar as talks and developments around Rampage 2 have begun stirring excitement among fans. After the massive success of the first Rampage movie, which delivered an explosive mix of giant creatures, thrilling battles, and heart-pounding destruction, the sequel is shaping up to be even bigger, bolder, and more intense. The original film, inspired by the classic arcade game, gave audiences a wild cinematic ride filled with chaos, humor, and heart. Led by Dwayne Johnson as the fearless hero who shared an unbreakable bond with a giant albino gorilla named George. Now, with updates surrounding the continuation of the story, it looks like the franchise is ready to unleash its next monstrous chapter. Rampage 2 is expected to pick up after the jaw-dropping events of the first film, where George, Ralph, and Lizzie tore through the city in a colossal showdown that left both humans and monsters changed forever. The ending hinted at a new beginning for George and Davis Okoye, suggesting that peace might be temporary in a world that has now tasted the terrifying potential of genetic experimentation gone wrong. The sequel's story may explore how humanity responds to these consequences, how governments, scientists, and corporations deal with the knowledge that giant mutated creatures exist and could rise again. This opens endless possibilities for new creatures, new threats, and an even greater test of survival. At the center of the chaos once again is Dwayne Johnson's character, Davis Okoye, whose bravery and loyalty made him the heart of the first movie. His bond with George was the emotional core that balanced the massive spectacle, and it's expected to continue playing a major role in the sequel. Their connection symbolizes friendship, trust, and compassion in the face of overwhelming destruction. George's survival at the end left fans cheering, and in the upcoming story, his evolution might take a more powerful turn, stronger, smarter, and more protective than ever before. Together, Davis and George could face a new breed of monsters, each more dangerous and unpredictable than anything seen before. Rumors suggest that the new movie will introduce several new genetically altered creatures, each with unique mutations that make them distinct from the original trio. These new monsters could emerge from different regions across the world, creating global chaos instead of limiting the destruction to one city. The concept of worldwide mutations could raise the stakes dramatically, forcing humans to unite against a threat that is far beyond control. There's also speculation that the film will explore the origins of the genetic technology that caused the mutations, diving deeper into the corporations and scientific minds responsible for unleashing this chaos. The tone of the movie is expected to maintain the balance between heart and havoc. The first Rampage worked because it never took itself too seriously. It embraced its wild premise while giving audiences genuine emotional moments. The sequel aims to keep that formula while expanding on character development and the world building behind the science. Dwayne Johnson's trademark charisma and humor will once again anchor the film, but the story might carry darker undertones this time. The world has seen destruction on an unimaginable scale, and humanity's response could take unexpected forms ranging from militarized monster control units to scientists attempting to weaponize the very DNA that caused the crisis. Visually, the new movie promises to raise the bar for monster mayhem. The action scenes will likely be more ambitious, featuring cities torn apart, forests collapsing under the weight of giant beasts, and underwater or aerial sequences that push the boundaries of what's possible on screen. The effects team behind the first film set a high standard for realism and creature design, and the sequel will have to exceed that by creating new beasts that are both terrifying and awe-inspiring. George's design may evolve too, with even more expressive features to enhance his emotional connection with Davis. The chemistry between Dwayne Johnson and the CGI gorilla was one of the highlights of the original film, and their friendship remains the soul of the series. In the upcoming sequel, their relationship may face new challenges. George could become a target for organizations wanting to study or control him, leading Davis to go on the run once more, protecting his giant friend from those who see him as nothing more than a weapon. Their journey might take them to remote areas, uncovering secrets about the genetic program and other surviving mutations. This emotional angle man and monster against the world adds depth to the explosive action. While the first movie focused heavily on destruction and spectacle, the sequel is expected to explore themes of responsibility, ethics, and the consequences of human experimentation. The story could dive deeper into the moral dilemma of playing with nature and the price humanity pays when science is used recklessly. It might also explore how society views these creatures. Are they monsters to be destroyed or beings to be understood? Davis's compassion for George and his belief that monsters are not inherently evil might become the moral backbone of the film. New faces are also expected to join the cast, bringing fresh energy and perspectives to the franchise. Scientists, military leaders, and even rival monster handlers could play major roles, each with their own agenda in this new world order. The return of supporting characters from the first movie might help tie the sequel to its roots while introducing new dynamics and conflicts. Fans are particularly excited to see whether the comedic and lighthearted tone between Johnson and his co-stars will continue, adding humor to the chaos as cities crumble and beasts clash. The movie is also rumored to expand geographically. Instead of being limited to North America, the action could span across continents from jungles and mountains to massive urban landscapes and even the ocean depths. Each setting could host a different mutated creature, giving the audience a global tour of destruction and wonder. This international scope would make the film feel even more epic and unpredictable, as no corner of the world remains safe from the chaos unleashed by genetic tampering. Music and sound design are expected to play a massive role again, enhancing every roar, explosion, and emotional beat. The previous film's score matched the intensity of the visuals perfectly, and the new one is likely to take that up a notch, delivering moments that pulse with adrenaline while still leaving room for quiet, heartfelt scenes between Davis and George. The audience can expect a roller coaster experience where laughter, fear, and awe blend seamlessly into one gigantic cinematic thrill. In many ways, Rampage 2 represents not just a continuation but an evolution of the monster action genre. It aims to combine the fun and energy of the first film with a more ambitious narrative that explores humanity's endless curiosity and the danger that comes with it. It's a story about survival, friendship, and the thin line between hero and destroyer. The massive creatures may dominate the screen, but at its heart, the movie will remain about human emotion and connection in a world falling apart. The anticipation surrounding the sequel continues to grow as fans recall the first film's explosive finale and wonder what's next for George and Davis. Will new monsters rise? Will old ones return? Will the world finally learn to live alongside these genetically altered giants, or will it descend once again into destruction? Every clue hints at a bigger story waiting to unfold, one that combines action, emotion, and pure cinematic spectacle. What made Rampage special was how it embraced chaos with heart. It gave audiences thrilling destruction while making them care about the bond between a man and his mutated gorilla friend. The upcoming film seems ready to build on that legacy, offering new adventures, more complex challenges, and unforgettable visuals. It's not just about monsters destroying cities, it's about trust, courage, and the hope that even in a world filled with danger, humanity can still find compassion. As the world prepares for the next round of colossal battles, Rampage 2 Inches stands poised to bring back everything fans loved: bigger creatures, louder roars, higher stakes, and deeper emotion. The franchise has always been about the fine balance between friendship and fury, and the sequel promises to carry that spirit forward with even more explosive energy. If the first movie showed us what happens when science goes too far, the second might show us what happens when nature fights back. In the end, it's not just a battle of monsters, it's a fight for survival, loyalty, and the fragile bond between man and beast.